Capitalmind joining us now. Thanks a lot, Deepak, for joining in. Season's greetings to you as well. Don't think we spoke during Diwali, but we were talking about some of these index large caps doing extremely well. Reliance is one of them. You've liked this in the past, and it's outperformed over the last few trading sessions. Your thoughts on the stock from here?
Hi, and firstly, thanks so much, and wish you all a very happy Diwali as well. So I think Reliance, we've been bullish on it for a long time. The idea here has been the concept of the demerged entity between Reliance Jio, the telecom, subsidiary in a way, and the retail subsidiary and the oil and chemical business. Plus, they have a bunch of others as well. So there is, if you demerge them all, if you take them all individually, I think they will be valued more than Reliance is currently at the top. So that was the original thesis, and still continues to remain, because when one business is weak, the others seem to be able to pitch in. Interestingly, right now, they've demerged a financial services company. And I think that makes sense, because once you create a financial services entity inside of a large entity, operating entity like this, then all your debt equity ratios can get skewed, because effectively raw material for a financial company is debt. And then your debt equity ratios at a consolidated level get complicated if you're doing financial services separately. So that's a good development, but I'm still waiting for the larger demerger here. And I think Reliance is very, very interestingly positioned, given where it is right now, and given how much more focus India is taking towards building, less of a dependence on crude oil going forward, improving the domestic economy, promoting domestic players rather than imports to help fuel India's consumption economy. I think they've kind of shifted gears from being a traditional B2B kind of player in the oil and gas space to a player that's more B2C now. And that's what's, I think, driving a lot of the transformation. Lots of other issues, of course. There is, what's going to happen at the top, and, a lot of the other things are still unknown. And that's why I think the price is also relatively low compared to what it should be. So I'm still very bullish on it. As a disclosure, we own it. It's one of our largest positions.
All right. Hi, Deepak. Deepak, I wanted to ask you, you briefly spoke about that very small part of their business that they've demerged, the financial services business. I'm just looking at Bajaj Finance. In this month itself, the stock is a little bit lower, while the Nifty is up close to around 4% or thereabouts month to date. Do you think that it's playing on the minds of some investors that suddenly you'll have another listed entity? It's very, very small in the scheme of things, but I mean, this Bajaj Finance has trades at around 8 times price to book and the likes. Always been elevated. Any view on this, or do you think it's too soon to call?
So it's interesting, because the book value of this Jio Financial Services Limited will have actually 6% of Reliance shares, which were treasury shares earlier, which will be demerged and put into this entity. 6% of Reliance is 1 lakh crores. So if you look at that, that's the book value of this new entity. If it is considered as part of book value, it is a 1 lakh crore book right from the beginning. Of course, they don't have any lending yet, so not any meaningful amount of lending yet. So, but they get a huge view to expand their lending without having to raise capital, which may change the way people look at the economics going forward. But I think Bajaj Finance is a fantastic franchise, and I don't think we should compare, right now, something coming from the Reliance table, which has not really gone into the financing scene of things in any major way till now, to a well-established, flywheel like Bajaj Finance, which would obviously have a huge amount of, penetration, distribution, presence, way beyond what anything else, way beyond what Reliance has. However, Reliance does have captive models here. So I would hesitate to make a comparison. You should price, something like Reliance, the Jio Financial Services at 8 times book or not. But even at 1 time book, if the book value actually contains the Reliance shares that they hold, that would still be a 1 lakh crore kind of market cap, which is quite significant. So I don't know. I don't think Bajaj Finance is facing that heat. Bajaj Finance's commentary was actually a little bit negative, and honestly, we have some of that as well. So I would say, own both in the longer term.
Okay, fair take, Deepak, then. But let's talk about these new age companies, right? Because in the month of November, there could be some supply, no, sorry, not some. there could be a lot of potential supply that hits the markets, and Nykaa would be one of the stocks that will be in focus. So Mangalam, you tell us first, how are things stacking up? Nykaa has got smacked in the last few days. Today it's up close to 10%. They've postponed that bonus, right? The effective date out there. But tell us more.
Well, that is the reason why the stock is higher today, is what my understanding is, and that's primarily because they've gone ahead and moved the record date for the bonus from earlier November 3, which was day after tomorrow, to November 11th. It's a 1:5 bonus that the company had announced, so that is something that we know already. What is it that happens once this is postponed? Well, around the bonus, when every time a company issues the bonus, there is the factor of bonus stripping, which on after the X date, a lot of people go ahead, the ones who had bought it for the bonus will go ahead and sell. So that would have been increased supply for the stock, and over and above the supply that was expected already on November 8th and 9th as the lock-in for pre-IPO shares open. So with this bonus being postponed to, record date being postponed to November 11th, at least that bit of supply overhang is taken care of. And secondly, they have their second quarter numbers as well tomorrow. But importantly, it could also be a case of just bottom fishing, primarily because, second quarter aside, the third quarter numbers are likely to be good. There will be festive season, festive buying, etc. So this month, the stock is down 19%. This year is down 51%. From its highs, it's down 60%. So after this sort of correction, are some investors taking a bet on the company going forward? The ones who perhaps did not get it at IPO and are now looking at it with a price which is sub the IPO, and in that interim, the company's earnings have grown. I mean, it's a profit-making company, right?
Yes.
So maybe if that's the call that they're taking, and over and above that, there is the worry of additional supply taken away by about 7 or 8 days.
Okay, all right, Mangalam, fair analysis on that one. Deepak, coming across to you, what's your take? If you like something at a far higher price and it could be a potentially better place in comparison to some of its peers, at least that's what the market believes. Now, if you want supply, you could potentially get plenty of supply. Will you be spoiled for choice, or do you believe that you rather look at other opportunities than looking at Nykaa at around 1,050 to around 1,100?
So I know I kind of talked about it. I think the supply issues, the supply overhang on Nykaa continues because they have a bunch of venture capital companies as investors. Some of these companies are mandated to return exit proceeds to their client, and exits are defined as IPOs. So they were locked in for a year since last November. So when the exit window comes in, they will probably want to make deals to kind of sell these shares. Some of these deals may have already been made because that may have been the reason why the price fell last year, because there were people who have made those deals saying, I will sell it on that date, and they sold it in advance, or however the structure goes. That might have been the reason why, and I believe at least that's the reason why the stock fell in the nearly this last month or so. But one quick note here is that the bonus stripping thing may not apply anymore, because in this last budget, the finance minister changed the rules of bonus stripping on stocks to say that if you buy and sell within 9 months of the record date, I mean, this could be the window needs to be 9 months, then the bonus stripping losses are cancelled. So now, if anybody buys for bonus, they have to hold it for another 9 months before they sell and take advantage of the effectively the bonus stripping, which negates the possibility for most people to actually do bonus stripping, at least in Nykaa, because people do it for the same financial year. They don't wait for the the loss to be booked in the next financial year. So I don't think that's the case. But yeah, I mean, Nykaa I think is an interesting play. I would wait for the supply overhang and all of these issues to get sorted, wait for the results, let them show some. I mean, there were some operational performance issues also last time. I think let's see if this festive season has been much better for them.
So what, in your understanding or experience in the stock markets for so many years, makes you believe that the company would have perhaps postponed the record date? I mean, could it be procedural, or I don't remember this happening in the recent past, at least.
Yeah, it's strange. I mean, there are hundreds of reasons why, sometimes it's sometimes as innocuous a reason as somebody forgot to inform somebody else, and then they're like, oh, it's too late, and it could be just that. So speculating on it, I don't know what the reason is, but I don't think it's sinister. Right. I don't think it is because moving from 3rd to 11th is almost like saying I give you food tomorrow instead of today. It doesn't, it doesn't
But
change much.
between today and tomorrow, there would be a lot of events, right? What if you have to run a marathon between tomorrow and today? And that is what we're talking about, because between the 3rd and the 11th, there would be that anchor lock-in which would open. But be that as it may, we will continue to, speculate on this. And after they've reported their numbers, we'll perhaps ask the same question to the management as well for some more clarity. But hang in there. We have some news coming for you from the insurance space, because sources tell CNBC-TV18 that